Hello, friends. Today, we're finally going to talk about some basic exercises and practice methods that will help us improve the speed with which we can play. Yes, I would love fast playing to drop on my head without having to do anything. But that's not how it works, is it? It's interesting. When we're learning anything new, have you noticed that there's a certain intentionality about how you do things? You have to think about what you're doing, and then that actually slows down how you're able to do the task. The same way with our playing. We have to practice enough and play enough that we develop muscle memory so that our fingers and our breathing, our posture, all know what to do. So, continue. One of the skills for speed, and you won't be surprised at me saying this, is consistent and accurate hole coverage. Because as you're playing, there's nothing that'll make you stumble more by squeaking and squawking. And that's a result of inadequate hole coverage. You guessed it, I work on that every day when I play. I don't work on it by thinking, oh, adequate hole coverage. I work on it by when I'm playing, if I squeak or squawk on something, I go, aha, I missed a hole cover there. Let's go back and run that phrase again. That's a good way to do that. Developing finger muscle memory is critical to improving our speed. And that's what some of these exercises are for. A really basic exercise is just play the D and the G scales. Play it at a pace with which you're comfortable, and then try and play it a little faster. The D scale. Started off, remember, tonguing is more of an ornament, a means of accenting notes. So feel free to just run that. Play it at a speed you're comfortable. Play it, and then play it a little faster. The G scale. Run it. Bring it up to the point where you just can't do it. Back it off just a little, slightly slower. Play it at that speed. That's the fastest you can play it today. Play it at that speed a few times just for the sake of your fingers. Now, tunes aren't written with just notes running up and down the D and the G scales or, some other scale. Sometimes you do get those runs, but tunes are written jumping all over the place. So there are a couple other things I like to do. I wouldn't recommend you only play scales as a means of improving your speed. One of the things I like to do is to play, start all the holes covered at the low D, and then just go up to the F sharp, back down, and do it again. And then come to the E and up like this. And then just keep playing that up all the way, go as high as you want, and then walk it back down. And there are challenges going in each direction, especially as you jump the octave. So don't quit before you're jumping the octave. See? If I were practicing right now and we weren't talking together, I'd stop, I'd go, arr, and then I would run that half a dozen times and until I feel like I've got it more fluid, and then I'd come back to it. So do that starting with the D and up, and also do it starting with the G, because then that's going to force you to use the C natural, which is also very helpful. So those are two basic means of ensuring hole coverage, but also improving your speed and developing muscle memory. But like I said, tunes aren't written in just running up and down. There are segments that are, but tunes do a lot of jumping. So I've got a recommendation that I find a lot more enjoyable, and I think you will too. My last recommendation is play tunes. I know there's nothing novel about that, but playing is what will help us improve our abilities. Just play the tunes. Play them as slowly as you need to, and then play it a little faster. I find, like the tunes we were working on that we got from the Trad School website, I really enjoyed playing the harp and the shamrock, but I realized that this is a very fast tune and I can't play it very quickly. So I play it as slowly as I can. Now I don't go through the whole tune and then try and play the whole tune faster. I like to come back and I'll take a bite-sized piece, a segment of the tune, and I'll work on that, and I'll work on that, and I'll work on that repetition of a tune, because the jumps in the rhythm that are standard jumps, you'll find them in the tunes, and that's where our fingers are really going to develop muscle memory. So the beginning of the harp and the shamrock. I'll take that, and then I'll try and play it a little faster. Now I did speed up there. I honestly try and be a little more consistent with my pace. Do that, improve the speed, and then reach the point where you're just falling all over the notes and you're not playing it well. Stop. Just like with the scale, back it up and play it at the speed that you can play it, that feels like the fastest speed where you're comfortable and you're not rushing it. Play it that way a few times. Play just the piece of the song that way a few times. And you'll get better that way. That is my primary recommendation for how to improve your speed. Funny thing is, one of the members of our little community and I were talking about playing at speed, and we were joking about the tune Morrison's Jig. I love the tune, and there is no way under the sun I can play it at speed yet. Notice I said yet. I want you to hold on to hope. So as I look at this tune, I found a website that said what the pace should be if you play it slowly and what the pace should be if you play it fast. And I'm like, there's no way under the sun. I can hardly play it at the pace they say is slow. Well, that is my challenge. So I've got a metronome on my iPad, and I'm going to start it, and I'm going to try the beginning of Morrison's Jig at what they say is the slow pace. We'll talk about a metronome at another time, but not today. See, I'm stumbling. I think that's a pace that I will soon be able to play. So if you want to play something as challenging as Morrison's Jig, start. Make yourself comfortable. And then, try and pick it up a bit. Enjoy the tune. If you start stumbling, don't be frustrated with yourself. Come back. Try that passage again. Stop. If it's just a little bit, if it's just that first bit. That first bit's where I have the most trouble. Play that 3 or 4 times in a row at again, you guessed it, the speed with which you're comfortable. And then tomorrow, do it again. And just those few exercises will help us. Be patient with yourself. I'm trying to be patient with myself. We're not looking at tomorrow I'm faster. We're looking at next month I'm a little faster. And then it starts, we find that we're getting faster. So keep working on it. This is enough exercises for now. Run the scales, run those little triplets I gave you. Above all, find a tune that you want to play faster than you do today, and work on playing the passages a little faster than you do today. And in a week, a month, you will. Just don't quit. Don't give up. We will be better than we are today if we keep going. It's going to be so much fun to play faster. Until next time, this is Scott Shade. Happy low D whistling.